Now I want to reintroduce one of the OG guilds of Star Atlas, one of the guilds that were ever created in our ecosystem. I want to reintroduce Funcracker and Aephia to the stage.
Thank you very much. Awesome. So happy to be here. Thank you. So who would have thought that 3 years into development of this game, we would already have our own conference? I mean, I'm just so humbled to see this happen, and so thankful to that you allowed me on stage here. So my name is Ronald, better known as Funcracker in the community. I am the co-founder of Aephia Industries, and over the last 3 years, while Automata has been building Star Atlas, we have been solidifying Aephia's vision for the future. We are one of the oldest and biggest guilds in Star Atlas, or DAC, Decentralized Autonomous Corporations, but we're really trying to push what a guild can be to its very limits. Our ambition is to become one of the first enterprises that operates exclusively in the metaverse, in a way that flips the script on how companies function and operate today. And the only reason why we can do this is because we are building on top of Star Atlas. What we're doing is only possible on Star Atlas. So let's explore that a bit more. The team's ambition for Star Atlas goes beyond just the game. They're striving to become a platform for social interactions, for community events, commerce, and real-world-like experiences. So in short, they have all the ingredients to become one of the major hubs in the future metaverse. But many other games are trying to do the same. So let's go briefly over why Star Atlas has the best cards. Unlike all those other games, Star Atlas has several Web2 MMOs and other games, all the gameplay rolled into one. So the game provides a ton of freedom while also sporting best-in-class 3D graphics. Like many other Web3 games, they offer true asset ownership. You own your characters, you own your ships, you own your inventory, your earnings in-game. It's all transparently registered on the Solana blockchain. But there are still perhaps a dozen or so, perhaps at most, games that are trying to accomplish this as well. But those games do not come with a persistent forever universe. The logic and state of Star Atlas is stored on-chain. And that means that there will always be a game to play with the assets that you own. It's not just persistent universe, it's forever here. Ownership and management of the entire ecosystem will transition to the players, to the DAO. So it's player-owned. And Metagravity tech will allow the game to use single shard, allowing tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people to gather in the same location, which is crucial for the metaverse. And because the game logic and state are stored on-chain, the community can not only modify the game's user interface, like with traditional games, they can create completely new user interfaces. They can create custom applications to interact with parts of the game. You can create your own completely overhauled interface. You can make interfaces for just small parts. You can go nuts. This is much, much bigger than modding. You can just create your own stuff. So while we're talking about guilds, perhaps two concepts come to mind. The traditional guilds of the Web2 world and the so-called Web3 gaming guilds. But with Star Atlas expanding the horizon and innovating in this space, it opens up new opportunities for us to raise the bar as well. So instead of following in the footsteps of Web3 gaming guilds, we actually just went back to the traditional guilds and from there created a path in a new direction, focusing on one game and making it all about our members again. What sets Aephia apart is our commitment to decentralized ownership. Players own and govern our entire enterprise. But a key difference with one of our big inspirations, Star Atlas, is that its ownership is not something you can buy, it has to be earned, ensuring that voting power flows to those who actually contribute. There's no way for people to acquire this on a DEX or any other way. Moreover, profits will flow to those who do the actual work, not to investors. We simply don't have any. In short, we aim to create a global, collaborative enterprise where every contributor has a real stake in the company's success. At this moment, while the team is developing the game, we are working hard to ensure our vision becomes reality. And we are focusing on two things in particular. The first is laying the foundation for all the software and the service and the tools that will streamline our operations for when ship crafting arrives in game, being or our vision for becoming the premier ship crafter. But we're also helping to onboard and retain new community members into Star Atlas. So let's dive a little bit deeper into these. We are first building a suite, as I said, of gamified tools and services on top of Star Atlas. Most are designed to enable us to scale our ship production seamlessly as soon as the full crafting loop in the game will come online. And these programs will form an additional layer of gameplay, a layer 2 or a meta layer, if you will, that tightly wraps the core gameplay Star Atlas provides. The goal here is to provide a useful and fun experience for players that aids our operations. So since our inception, we've been focused on growing the Star Atlas ecosystem. After all, a rising tide lifts all ships. Most importantly, however, our own success is of course completely dependent on the success of Star Atlas. So throughout our lifetime, we've been trying to help by compiling and sharing our knowledge about Star Atlas with the masses. A few examples. To help you stay up to date with Star Atlas development and events, we publish a weekly newsletter that covers all of that. By spending a couple of minutes per week, you can just stay completely up to date on the latest and greatest of Star Atlas development. For those who wish to dive into the game, we also publish guides on actual gameplay and key concepts as they become relevant or available. This way we seek to lower the barrier to get in on the action. Additionally, for those who want to explore the economics a bit further, we offer a wide variety of dashboards that monitor all the Star Atlas on-chain assets, the DAX, the wallets, and even some of the strategies taking place. Lastly, if you're not a reading type, we have wonderful folks like Metaverse Explorer and Beth to update you through their videos on everything going on in Star Atlas. Then jumping into our IP projects. As I mentioned in the panel earlier, one of our members, Kenny, is offering detailed 3D replicas of Star Atlas ships under the Gallia ArtStation brand. And they're currently offering the entire Rainbow line of ships, except for the Titan, and the Pierce X4. It's a fun memorabilia for the die-hard fans out there. If you want to know more, we have a booth. Come check with me later, and I have all the information. So going back to helping grow the Star Atlas community, we've also been spreading the word of Star Atlas through our own NFT project, dubbed AEP Lifeform, or simply ELF in short. ELF is the very first project we launched using the Star Atlas IP license. Beyond the fact that it's just simply cool to be able to use Star Atlas-derived designs in our art, it's also really a great way to expose new holders to Star Atlas. It's a great conversation opener. We sold out of all of our 2,200 plus elves in December of 2023 at a 3.5 SOL public mint price. Since then, the collection has been doing great. The floor price has never dipped below the mint, and our holders love all the opportunities and investment tips that are being shared. Beyond the monthly SOL rewards, this sub-community within Aephia is really a treasure trove of crypto alpha. And then, of course, our big community-created game, Cataclysm: Battle for Iris, is our upcoming 1 versus 1 strategy card game that takes place deep within the high-risk zone of Star Atlas. In this game, which is a digital game, you'll play cards representing ships and all of Star Atlas assets, and you're trying to beat your opponent in one-on-one combat. The game's initial release won't feature any blockchain integration just yet, and everyone will be able to play with the exact same deck of cards. However, if successful and if the community wants more, we absolutely do plan to bring it on-chain and incorporate the assets that you own. Currently, internal alpha tests are ongoing, but for those curious, we did bring a physical copy with us for you to try out at our booth. Definitely recommend you show up. It's really a great game, and so far response has been pretty positive. If you want to learn more about any of the topics that I touched on briefly today, please scan this QR code. It's in the lower bottom. As I mentioned, we do have a booth. We have some stickers and some cool cards. You can play Cataclysm, and we are here all day to tell you more about Aephia, our IP projects, how to get involved in the community, Star Atlas. You can just come to us and we'll help you out in whichever way we can. So thanks again for allowing me to be here today and for giving us this opportunity to present. And wishing you all a great day and go Star Atlas. Thank you.